Welcome to Your Comments. It is your show. We get your comments off YouTube, the best ones anyway. Joe picks them, then puts them in lovely little graphics. Of course, this is Everton 6, Bournemouth 3. Let's have your reactions. Let's start with Gary Cargill, who says, great that Baz, all of a sudden this season is far from over. 6 points off the shite and reeling them in, but never mind them. Let's just keep going, plenty to play for. Come on, you Blues. Adam L says, Ross Barkley is a snide bastard. Bloody hell, Joe, you're throwing the love it. Where is the Lukaku doesn't run parade? Operation Nias is successful. Love it. Absolutely right on all three accounts there. Paul Roberts says, we scored 6, but the match felt like a reality check. We lost control when we were 3 up, in sharp contrast to the team above us who managed the same score comfortably. Leicester were cracked, to be fair. Thought the introduction of Davis and Maraz alongside Schneiderlin provided the game intelligence needed. Hope the other players take notes. Absolutely right, Paul. I think at 3-0 we made the cardinal sin of just taking our foot off the gas, and it came back to haunt us. They started the second half tremendously and we just never got into it. When we scored the 4th goal, that's what we should have been doing for the entirety of the second half. Just getting the ball and just moving it around and just not giving Bournemouth a sniff. But we let them control it. We couldn't get near them, and they got the 2 goals. And obviously the stress started to happen, didn't it? So check out our final word. Obviously we'll be going more into that. But yeah, Schneiderlin was very, very good in that passage of play. Jen May says, Barry's inclusion surprised me. McCarthy too were both, but they were both boss. They all were. Thought Murray and Williams were still a bit too easy to get through for Bournemouth, though the boss made the changes that made the difference after the resurgence. Great 3 points. Schneiderlin is a Rolls Royce midfielder. Barkley was boss, as he can and should be. Lukaku was unreal, like a Lukaku can be. What a difference those 2 new players made to the squad. Yeah, I was surprised by Barry and McCarthy coming in, but I think what that shows is that the manager, now that he's sort of trimmed the squad, is saying to all those players, you're all now first team players, and you're all near enough at the same level, and we're gonna just move you around at times. It's not a case of dropping people. It's like, this is what a proper squad looks like now. This is where everyone's got a chance, apart from Alan Lennon. Everyone's got a chance now to be part of that midfield, and there's never going to be, anyone guaranteed 100% a chance of playing. And they've got to get used to that, because that's what big clubs do. That's what the top clubs do. Okay, there'll be a spine normally in the team, but that's what they're going to have to do. At the back, yeah, I'm not comfortable with playing those 2 centre backs. I'm playing in a 2. This is why I prefer a 3, because I just think I think I still think we're short. I'm sure that'll get addressed in the summer. I just think we're short at the moment. Oliver Hayward says, Lookman looks like he could be a real player. Yeah, he was fantastic in spells. On Saturday, you can still see that he's a player without masses of experience. The position didn't necessarily suit his skills as well. I think playing alongside Rom would where he's a little bit more, less inhibited in Tony Hibberted, means that he can have that freedom up front. But we've seen for their second goal that that's not necessarily the player he is, and I don't think playing him in a 3 would really help him. Play him front right next to Rom, where he can be dangerous, where he's got freedom, where he can do what he wants, where he's got room to move as well. He was restricted by being on one side. If he was up with Rom, I think he'd just be able to do what he wanted. So I think once he settles in a little bit, all those tricks that he was doing will start to come together and feel a lot more organic in his play, if that makes sense. It's great when he's doing them, but it's got to be in with the whole game. Ryan Walker says Joel saved us twice at 3-2. He could be a long-term keeper we need. Still only young and gets everything off the club. The save he made at 3-2 when they knocked it off from the free kick was massive, absolutely massive. Because the worry was that if they'd scored the third, I could see them going on to winning the game. They had that much going for them. We just couldn't get hold of the ball, and this is really key, because some keepers look really good when they have busy afternoons, but up to that point Joel hadn't had a massively busy, he'd had saves to make, but he wasn't massively busy, but he stayed switched on. He was also telling to the Gladys to calm down, which was funny. I'm not sure it was the best idea, but he made a couple of huge saves in this game, so he's getting stronger and stronger. Class Dan Young says, why not replace Foon's Barbecue Murray with Nathan Aki? The lad has great potential, 21, got a lot of Premier League experience, got pace and plays as centre back or even a left back in case Baines is injured. I suppose because he's, I don't think he's necessarily what the manager's looking for at the moment. I think the manager's looking well higher than that. I think that's what we've got to all start accepting, is that the manager's looking high now. He's looking at top class players to replace the players we've got. It's not easy bringing those players in. He is a good player, Aki, and you can understand why Bournemouth have dropped off defensively without him, but I think we'll be looking much higher than him, and really for our defence that's what we should be looking at. Callum96 says, so many highlights taken in this game, I don't even know where to start. Lukaku actually lived up to all the hype. This game McCarthy scored as well, plus the man, the myth, the legend Omar Niasse scored against Liverpool. I can't even comprehend how happy this result has made me. Come on you Blues. Yeah, it was perfect storm, wasn't it? Lukaku just scored his goal, then the news filtered through that Niasse had scored and bubbled up to make it a great last 5 or 10 minutes at Goodison Park, and it was in part it was a great performance. Lukaku scoring so early, just give him the got the bit between his teeth, didn't he? Wanted it then, because then he probably knew he could get a half full, which he ended up getting a half full. So yeah, it was perfect storm, not a perfect game. Felt like when we beat Blackpool that time a couple of years ago, for the older viewers, when we beat Swindon 6-2. Tony Cottee scored a hat-trick, finished off in the last minute at Gladys Street. So when we thought Mike Walker could be the Messiah, he wasn't. Just a very naughty boy. Kyle Dunn says, loved Barkley celebrating before he scored. Would have been slightly funny if somehow missed. No. Thought we were very shaky in the second half until Holgate came on. We went back to a back three, and from then we were superb. What a 90 seconds as well. Romelu scored 2. Barkley done a back heel, and Niasse scored against the shite. Not enough love for the Barkley back heel. Like, I've seen it on a couple of different TV stations, and it's almost like, yeah, Rom scored his 4th. That back heel was sensational. It had everything. It was timed perfectly. The weight on it was perfect. It gave the defender enough ammunition to try and get it, which gave Rom enough to skip past him. It was perfect. Celebrating before you scored, I'm all in favour of that. Whether he'd seen the lad just coming behind him, I don't know, but he felt very confident. I'm all for that. It goes along with Koeman's snidey blues of 2017. 3 games in a row with that we've scored snidey goals. I love it. Danny Abraham, God, this one's a long one. 2 boss centre backs we could be looking at are Kabali and Manolas. Both have been linked and got pace. Would really like either of them. So talking about 100 million there, aren't you, for them too? I'd also take a look at Bakambu from Villarreal. Would add a lot to our attacking line. Timo Horn from Cologne is also class and will be great. Baz loves him. Long-term keeper for us. All in all, I'm pretty sure Walsh will make the right moves in the summer. Another win from the Blues, another shite performance from them bastards down the road. Which people will go, what are you talking about them for? Well, we're only actually 6 points behind them now. So that's why it's good. We've got a chance of catching them. So it's not about like better blues. It's about catching them now. Yeah, they're the kind of players we should be looking at. That's the kind of calibre that we're looking at now. We've got to be looking at class players to fill the voids in the team. And when people go, you're just so anti-Foons Mori on you. We're not anti-Foons Mori. We're anti-shit defenders. That's what what we are is we want the team to get better. We've established where we think the team can be better, and it's time to start looking to fill those gaps. Lexin Tashiring says, why all the hate for Murray? He was better than Williams today. Ooh, was he though? I don't think he was. If you look at the goals we've conceded, the first one, watch it from all the angles. I think I know who's culpable for that. Check out the final word, I'll tell you more about that. Murray, for me, he's good at certain things and then tries to do the things that he's not good at and makes a mess of them. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Stick to the things you are good at. Because this is the thing, right? Look at Ashley Williams, right? And while we're on the subject, how did he get nearly one-on-one with the goalie? What was he even thinking in the first half? That's how mad that first half was, that he got one-on-one with the keeper. Really? It was mad. But what Williams does is he defends. He does the things that he's good at, and he stays away. So when he gets the ball and just hoofs it down the pitch, because he's not trying to be all clever and John Stonesy and all that. He just goes, you know what? I'm not actually very good at passing. I'm just going to lump it down the pitch. I'm fine with that. I'm fine. If you've restricted, you just don't do those things. Murray tries to think he's a ball playing centre back. He's not. If he's stuck to that, if he stuck to what he was good at, then his concentration levels of what he was good at would be there, and he wouldn't. His mind wouldn't. I just get visions that he just in his mind he's like running down the pitch, scoring the winning goals, and while he's doing that, the centre forwards getting around the back of him, and if he just stayed. I've seen centre backs who are not that much better than Foons Murray, but they're just always on. They're just always on the game, and that's what makes them great centre backs. So it's a mentality thing for him. That's all he's got to do. Ray Gurney says, spot on about Foons. When he gets the ball, I get scared. I'm sure Jags is better, but though I don't think Jags is better, so that's where I will give a bit of love to Foons. Love the way James has not given up as well. James McCarthy, are we on those kind of terms, are we? What a midfield we now have. Just a sense of defence for me. Good times, 21 points from 28. There is no reason why we can't go on and scare the rich boys. We are the rich boys. We are not us like, but Everton are the rich boys. Stop. We are. Don't be talking us down. As for James McCarthy, right, I think this is a combination. The manager clearly likes him and has put his arm around him and just gone, listen, no way are we going to sell you to Newcastle, and that for me would be enough. That for me would be enough. Someone said to me, you don't have to go to Newcastle. I would be like, I love you, man. But he hasn't, and James McCarthy has gone, he's obviously said, we're going to give you the chance and it's up to you, and that's all a player wants to know. That's all they want to know. Simple as that. And that's it. They're your comments. Thank you as always. There was lots. We have people going, why doesn't my comments ever get read out? Go and have a look at how many comments we get every week. We get loads. Some of them we even get people just comment just to threaten me. Said they're going to face me up in the gather seat. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, don't blame us. Blame Joe. Sometimes it's nice to just dip a nice little compliment in. I've noticed this about Joe. He's a young lad. You know, he loves compliments. He loves it. Tell him how good his graphics are, and I'm sure he'll include you. We don't encourage that because we just want the actual best comments, not the ones that are just like, Joe, we love you. But you know, that's not down to me. What Joe gives me, I put on. Very much like Anchorman in that way. I just read what's on there. Simple as that. Thanks as ever. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. Keep your comments going. We'll see you later.